John Orman. And it is the third, right?
It is the third.
I just named my son Steve Cook. He's going to be the third.
See,
Like I said, I've got a lot of respect for business people and stuff like that, so I wanted to, have you on, pick your brain. You've worked with, I tried to do as much research as possible. As far as I could tell, you worked for Locke Supply for a long time, right?
Yeah, since 1996. I actually started when I was still in high school, and I left for like 11 months in 2000, but I came back, so I was only gone.
Where'd
for
you go in for the 11 months? Was it a hiatus or another
No, my parents want to be able to service. You have a lot of individual plumbers, individual contractors, and so most distributors, in my opinion, sometimes overlook those guys, and we don't overlook those guys. Those are the guys we want to take care of.
How do you set up? I mean, is it just because it's employee owned and all that, and they care more about the, how do you set up? Do you have a system around that?
As far as
keeping tabs on those guys, or
not well, it's their job.
They just do it.
So everybody at Locke Supply, in some fashion or another, is incentivized by the company's success.
Sure.
So at branch locations, it's a sales-driven job. It's a sales-driven business.
Okay.
The more successful the company is, there's an incentive opportunity, financial incentive opportunity on a monthly
and
basis.
You're not only talking about the employee-owned. You mean, they're on some sort of commission?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's not a commission. It's tied directly to the company's profitability. So if the company is not profitable, then there's not an incentive to be paid. But if the company is profitable and the associates make it profitable, then there's an incentive to be paid.
Gotcha.
Best advice I could give everybody, when I first started a long time ago, there were kind of older school guys that really didn't want to teach people how to do what they knew, because I think they did it out of fear for, if I teach you, then you can take my job, right?
Sure.
Well, there's a flip side to that, and the flip side is if I'm the only one that knows anything, then I'm going to imprison myself, and I'm going to bury myself here, and I can never leave.
I did that for years.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or at least in my opinion, that's a bad practice. If you don't trust people and empower them and teach them to do the right things, then you're never going to be able to do anything else.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's really wise.
I get asked, if you're going to start a business, what would it be? Without question, I'd start a plumbing business tomorrow.
Wow.
Because you're going to have less and less tradesmen.
Supply and demand.
and you want to, look, is it the most exciting thing? I mean, it's not like you're a movie star or anything, but if you want to make a good living and you want to have a good life and you want to have a steady job.
Yeah. Consistent income
there's a way to do that.
It doesn't take many layoffs to get you figure it out. Consistent income is awesome.
Companies to see if they were interested and go around that. But we had talked to her, and she said, quite frankly, almost every acquisition that she had made was built on a relationship from 5, 10, 15 years ago. So it's just a relationship business. So Cody Company we acquired was a relationship for more than 30 years. The East Coast operation that we acquired, Resco, I met him at one of the AD conferences, and we developed a relationship and just happened to be on a fluke phone call, just talking one day, and he was telling me what he was thinking about doing, and I made a comment. It's like, well, man, if you're going to sell, call me. And he's like, are you serious? And I said, absolutely. We would definitely be interested.
That's crazy.
And it was just a relationship thing that we had. So both of ours sort of fit true with what she had said is it's just about building relationships and networking and getting to know other businesses in your industry. Mm-hmm. And then you never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm. So I've always wondered that of the soliciting other, because you hear about a lot of other big companies like such and such wants to buy me out. I've always wondered if that, but I always felt like, not that it wouldn't work, but that you would never get anywhere close to a fair price because they're not even wanting to sell, or whatever. Like, you brought the idea up.
Well,
so I always wondered about that.
Yeah, it's been, it's mostly I see your point. I know some people that I network with that sold their company that didn't think they were going to. And, I can't speak for them, but I imagine they didn't want to sell. But, you keep raising a number. I mean, you're going to reach a point where they say, okay.
But that's cool. Well, thank you so much, John.
No problem.